So you probably heard the media or people that watch Michael Jordan play live say that he could average 45 to 50 points in today's NBA. And if I had to give my take on it, James Harden averaged 36 points per game on 44% field goal shooting in this era. DeMar DeRozan had a scoring streak averaging at least 35 points per game this season. And I brought DeRozan up because offensively, he got the same mid-range game like Michael Jordan, and this was the best season of his career. Keep in mind, both of these players are not even in the same stratosphere as Michael Jordan. Jordan averaged 37 points in a season with hand checking. Imagine no hand checking with the defensive 3-second rule that the NBA implemented in the 2001-02 season. Michael Jordan will be slashing every second, and I suggest you after this video watch Luka Doncic on JJ Redick's podcast. He explained why it's easier to score in the NBA than in Europe. So anyway, I know Jordan will be unstoppable with modern spacing and no hand checking. Also, I'm not fond of the myth that Jordan was a terrible 3-point shooter in his early years. In his first 4 years in the league, he never shot over 70 3-pointers in a single season. That's less than 1 attempt per game. The 3-point shot wasn't a focal point in Jordan's era. When he was 26 years old in the 89-90 season, he shot 245 3-pointers. He made over 37% of them. That is a good 3-point percentage. And in the 96 season, he shot 42% from the 3-point line. And even though the 3-point shot wasn't a renowned part of his game, he would have shot a few more 3-pointers in today's NBA. If I had to give an estimate, he would have had a season where he averaged 40 to 43 points per game. So I want to show you NBA legends and players who talked about how good Michael Jordan will be in today's NBA. So enjoy the video, man.
How would you envision, what would Michael Jordan be if he played in the game today the way the game is different from the way it was in his era?
He'd average 45, and the league would be complaining about two players. They'd be like, Mike is too good, and the kid named Shaq down in Orlando is too dominant. What are we going to do?
When you think back to what those defenses were allowed to do and how defenses played now in the NBA, what would Michael Jordan do in today's NBA?
Probably average 45, 50 a game.
For us, LeBron and Michael, if Michael played in this era, he'll average 50. He'll average 50 points.
How many points do you think Jordan could average in today's NBA?
What's the most he ever averaged? 37?
37-1.
All right, so 40 easy. 40 easy. 40 easy. Yeah, 40 easy. Like 40 is easy. 40 would be easy for Black Jesus.
Because Harden, I think Harden a couple of years ago averaged 36. So you figure Jordan could average 40 with no problem. I'm gonna ask both of you guys.
And you add to that when he averaged 37, he was doing it with twos. It wasn't even no three. They weren't shooting 3-pointers like how they shoot now. You know what I'm saying? Because just imagine if Michael decided to shoot 6, 7 threes a game like they do now. 40 would have been easy.
If Michael played today, he probably averaged almost 50 a game. I mean, he really would, because you wouldn't be able to touch him on the perimeter, so he'd be shooting a ton of free throws.
Yeah, so when everybody does this Michael LeBron comparison, it's like you almost can't, it's not the same game that they're playing.
It's not the same game. You're right, it's not. It's not the same game. I would have loved to see LeBron play during in the 90s.
You played in both eras. How many points do you think Jordan would literally average per game?
Today?
Today.
Phew. More than James Harden.
James Harden had a season he averaged 36.
More than that. For sure.
Really?
For sure. And I was at the Jordan era.
Yeah.
I was in the LeBron, Kobe, Duncan, and I was at the tail end.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I played with these guys.
Right.
I've seen all the 3-point balls go up. They can't. Jordan, no way. Jordan would average 50.
You believe Jordan would average 50?
If he wanted to.
Right.
James Harden wants to average 50. He just can't.
Right.
He got 38.
Right.
Amazing.
Right.
If Jordan wants to average 50, if he was playing his era, I think he averages 50. And this is no disrespect to any of the guys.
Current players.
That's killing, like KD, you know.
Yeah, all those guys,
not only
the guys, Steph and LeBron and all those guys,
I said between 45 and 50 because it reminded me so much of how Wilt Chamberlain seemed to be just dropped in a different era when he was averaging 50 and 25. That's what Michael Jordan represented for the era he came in. Think about it. He was MVP of the league while teams were still flying commercial, okay? The rigor isn't the same. The physicality in today's game isn't the same. And one of the things that you didn't acknowledge, All NBA defense. He will be getting steals. He will be getting out in transition, catching lobs, 3-on-2, 2-on-1, and also getting to the free throw line. In the NBA Finals in the early 90s, he scored 63 in the 80s versus the great Boston Celtics. And yes, there are a handful of great defensive teams in today's game. The Bucks, both teams in LA, the Toronto Raptors. But you know what else it is, Greeny? A lot of bottom feeders. So say against the great teams, he would average 40, no doubt. Against the bad teams, the lottery teams, he would definitely average 50 against those squads.
What about these other guys who are playing in today's
Jordan would have averaged 45, 50.
in today's
The
game?
point I was making is you allow great shooters freedom to roam, freedom with no hand checks. You can't crowd me, and I got a clear sight at the rim, then it's going to be lights out, baby. But it's so hard to play defense in today's game because they allow the offense to go wherever they want.
Okay, but if Jordan's averaging, I mean, be honest here. If Jordan in his prime, Jordan in the early 90s is averaging.
Today's rules.
Yeah, today's rules is averaging 40.
He would average 40.
Okay.
I think he would average 40.
Okay, but didn't he average 39 one year or 37.1? So Kobe's going to average 40.
Kobe would be up there. Kobe would be up there as well.
In today's game, the rules as they are, how would Jordan do, and how many points do you believe he would average?
I don't think anybody's averaging 60 or 70.
Okay.
So that's, I mean, those days are over with.
Nobody's going to get Wilt 50 a game, huh?
Not 50 a game. No, that's not going to happen. But I will say this, Michael Jordan would average whatever he want to average.
You believe he can get 40 a night?
Yeah, he can. I mean, yeah. If yeah, there's no question about it.
40 a night,
Yeah,
Mark. 40.
Yeah.
How you going to get 40? Is he going to...
I'm not here to break it down and decipher it. I'm telling you as a witness, I'm testifying on behalf of Michael Jeffrey Jordan that he would average 40 a night. If we see guys averaging 30.
Right.
And 35, with all due respect, that don't have the arsenal that he has offensively.
Well, you know you're going to have to add that three ball. You got to add the three ball to get to 40. Because you look at the guys, Harden was the last guy. I think Harden averaged, 36? And that step back three, he put that in. Obviously, the free throw, Jordan went to the free throw line a lot. He didn't go as much as Harden. But I don't know how you get to 40 without that three ball.
Well, Jordan's going to go to the free throw line more than he did back then because we were able to beat him up.
Right.
And it was ignored to a
Right.
certain extent.
Okay.
So, and he added the three ball in his career. We watched him against the Blazers knock down three. That wasn't his specialty.
Right.
But it wasn't like he was a liability shooting the basketball. Michael Jordan would average whatever he wanted to average.
No, his numbers would definitely be inflated. If you thought James Harden got to the line a lot, Jordan would average 20 free throws probably every night. You got to understand, he would evolve into this era. You know, the Jordan that we saw young, athletic, get to the basket based on, what we've seen in this era, you would see a Jordan probably shooting more threes too. Mm-hmm. So he would definitely evolve. He averaging 35 at one point. I could see him really pushing that to 40. I don't know about 50, 60, but mid 40s, I could see that possibly happening.
I don't know if he would shoot 75% from the field, but Paul, for his career, I think he averaged like 8.8 free throw attempts per game. So that's at least going to double. That's close to 20 per game in today's age. And also, pace and space. Think about how physical the game was back then. You pretty much get put on your back every time you went to the bucket. Now all of a sudden somebody blows on your wrist or hits your hand, that's a foul. Even though he would have taken more threes if he lived in today's age, still his mid-range game was on point. His skill level, he still would be considered one of the most skilled, if not the most skilled in the league today. I don't know 75%, but he'd be averaging in the 40s for sure.
What both of you guys are saying is right. The pace has increased. The three-point shot has increased. Players up front have gotten smaller. So now driving to the basket, he going to be dunking on everybody. Yeah. Just think about that. KD is like a 4 in today's game. So now and then here's the other thing. If Harden can average 36, 37 right now, James Harden is averaging that right now. He's getting none of those points off his defense. Jordan gonna be getting steals. He gonna be getting blocks. He gonna be out on fast break.
I'll say like about we would be having a conversation, can somebody average 50 besides Will? He'll be like 47, 48. I really believe it.
1 is the best, 5 is subpar, all right? Not so good. So you get a chance to rank 1 through 5. Psychologically, how do you rank Michael Jordan?
The scale of 1 to 5?
1 to 5. 1 being the best, 5 being the worst.
1.
1. Ball handling.
1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Defender.
1.
Mid-range jumper.
0. Like, not even 1.
Oh.
Like I said, he was a pure shooter. Like, I don't think anybody in the league at that point was shooting the ball better than him. He was shooting 50+% from the field at the guard position, shooting all J's. Like, you have to be a pure shooter. And everything was touching bottoms. Like, yeah, 1, 0. You go 0 with that one.
What do you think Jordan will average? Where do you think he would fit in?
I mean, he can adapt his game to anything. He would fit in as the best player in the league. Like, that's what he would be. And, you know, I feel like he'll have more possessions to do more things, but there's also more athleticism in his game, and there's more length in his game. But, you know, it's also more space for MJ to go to work. So, I mean, we'll never know, but for sure, I mean, he's a masterful basketball player. Like we've been saying, his skill level is unmatched. So, of course, he'll do numbers in this league today.